Hey guys, so I want to address a topic with you guys that I guess is somewhat controversial, and you guys might judge me for this. I don't know. So Jake is here because his maternal grandmother went out of state and his mom had to go stay with her sister. So, because of the weather, we weren't able to bring Jake back over there before um, his maternal grandmother had to leave. So he is with us for over a week. He's here until I think he's here like 4 or 5 more days. Once his maternal grandmother comes back into town, that's when he's going to be going home. But that's not really what this video is about. Um, if any of you as parents have struggled financially with like getting food for your kids or yourself, your family, I just want to know, like, how do you explain to a child who doesn't really grasp the concept that we don't have any money to buy, like, special food? Like, the food that we have in the house is the weirdest assortment of food, and it's basically stuff that we've been given by people in the community or from food bank or food pantry distributions, or like when we go get the meals from the church. Like, I feel bad that we don't have the stuff that he likes to eat. But then again, at the same time, it's like yesterday we had a full box of cornflakes. Well, not full. It was open just a little bit. There was just a little bit taken out. Like my husband had tried to snack on it, and Jake was caught eating the cornflakes after my husband had told him like he was going to be making dinner in about 20 minutes. And my husband did sit down with Jake and told him that we have to like save as much food as we can. My mother-in-law is going to get us some groceries for the rest of the time that Jake is here, but it's like we ran out of lunch meat, we ran out of cheese. We do have bread. We have like a half a loaf of bread left, and we have butter, we have some egg noodles and some soup and stuff. But it's like he's very picky because he is on the autism spectrum, and so like certain textures of food really bother him, certain smells really bother him. Even if it's just a normal food smell, it bothers him. And like he has to smell everything before he eats it. And like I don't know. I don't know how to have that conversation with a child, like to explain to them that the reason why he can't have snacks or whatever is because we don't have the money to go out and buy chips and crackers and all that stuff. Like he's not really supposed to be eating that stuff anyway because as you guys know from a previous video, he's actually on a different diet now because when they did blood work the last time he was at the doctor's office, his cholesterol levels were high. It's hard to try to explain that to someone who doesn't really grasp that concept. And it makes me worry because like once he goes home, over there they have food stamps. We don't get food stamps over here. And so, like, once he goes home, he'll have all the food. And once he goes home, we won't. Like, we don't have any money right now. We're still struggling to try to keep this house and not get evicted. Like, it's a daily struggle trying to figure out what we're going to do, where we're going to stay if we do end up getting evicted. We were supposed to have a conversation with my mother-in-law this week, but since Jake ended up having to stay with us until next Tuesday, we haven't been able to have that conversation because she doesn't want us to talk about those issues when Jake is around, which I understand because he does tend to go home and tell them everything that we've talked about, everything that's going wrong, all of the issues that we have. Like, even if my husband and I get into the tiniest argument over literally nothing, he will go back and say that we're getting divorced, all this other stuff, which obviously you guys know that I have talked about the possibility of getting divorced, but we are working on things. We are trying to make things work. So it's just frustrating. But I get his concern because obviously he wants his dad to be happy. It's just frustrating. Like, because I don't know how to explain that to him. Like, normally every time he's over here, we've been able to keep things in check as far as like him going and snacking, him going and eating whatever he wants to eat, you know, even if we say no, or he'll go and he'll grab snacks without even asking if he can have any. And like we all need to have food. And, you know, like he was complaining the other day about the food that we had because it was some weird like meal that the food bank had given out that somebody didn't want because they don't eat rice and it has rice in it. And he was like, I don't know what this is. What it was is it's like a nutritious meal. It has supposedly has all the macronutrients that you need for a healthy meal. It has rice, it has a vegetable protein, it has dehydrated vegetables, and like I thought it was actually pretty good. I added just a little like a little swirl of barbecue sauce and it tasted pretty good to me. But then again, I've been homeless before. You know, I have eaten from food pantries, soup kitchens, like just being thankful to have a meal. And I guess like that's where privilege comes into play because Jacob has never been in the situation where he literally has no food to eat. And I have. Like I've gone over a week without food. And, you know, it's just it I guess it depends on the person, but I don't want to come off as being mean by saying no, you can't have it because we don't have money to, you know, whatever. Or no, you can't have it because if you eat it, then when you go home, we're not going to have any food to eat. I don't want to come off as a bitch, if that makes sense. What would you do in this situation? How would you explain it to a 16, almost 17-year-old person who doesn't seem to be grasping that concept? Like, Jacob is smart, but sometimes with his autism, he doesn't really understand certain, like, situations very well. Like, he understands to a point, but he doesn't really fully understand, if that makes sense. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like, we are trying. Hopefully we'll get stuff worked out. I will keep you guys updated on the whole eviction process, if that's going forward. At this point, we've given her $800, and I made another video about that. So if you want to go check that out, you can, because I don't really feel like talking about it right now. But anyways, I will talk to you guys again in my next video.